Welcome back to J&Y Cards, where we are going to be enjoying this amazing hobby together. Today is episode 241, and I'm going to be opening up some Magic the Gathering today. This is only my second Magic-related episode, so I'm still trying to figure out this format for my Magic videos. If you have any tips or comments, or critiques, please let me know in the comment section below. That would be super helpful to me because I want to make videos that you all want to see. All right, so today we're going to be opening up a 2022 Gruul Stompy Standard Challenger deck. These are pre-constructed decks. And so there's no random cards in here. Everyone gets the same 75 cards in these decks. Now these decks have incredible value. I believe these are going for $30 at retail stores, and as of the recording of this video, the individual cards are worth about $65. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to first do a quick unboxing, and then I'm going to sort the cards, and then we're going to read through the cards and talk about the cards. All right? So let's do the unboxing here. So on the cover here, I believe this is Tovolar's Pack Leader, which is the backside of Tovolar's Huntsman, I believe. So with these types of products from Wizards of the Coast, you have to be careful because in the past it was pretty easy to open these, right, just like that, and take out the contents and replace it with, I don't know, basic lands, and then re-glue this and then sell it or return it back to the store that wherever they bought it from, right? So just be wary if someone's selling these online, or if you're buying them at Target or Walmart or big box stores. I would recommend that you don't buy from those stores. Well, for Magic, I highly encourage you all to not buy from Target or Walmart, but to use your local game store, right? Your LGS, right? Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're new to my channel, because I don't do a lot of Magic stuff, and you're probably watching this video like, why is this on like a sports card channel? Now, this is not a sports card channel. It's called J&Y Cards. It's not J&Y Sports Cards, all right? But if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because once I hit 175 subscribers, I'm going to give away this hanger box of 2020-21 Chronicles basketball. And once I hit 200 subscribers, I'm going to give away this blaster box of 2020-21 Illusions basketball. So to enter in, all you have to do is subscribe and be a public subscriber. All right? It's that easy. All right, so let's get back to the unboxing here. We'll put this right there too. Space everything out. Alright, so back to the unboxing here. You get a pretty cool box. You get another box, I should say, within that box. And this is the deck box. And then you get this card divider, or this spacer, I should say. And then you get, right here, see that box is empty? You get your 60 card main deck and 15 card sideboard with some tokens and some advertising in there. This is also Tovolar's Pack Leader. Same art as what's on the box there. So we'll put those back in there. And what we're going to do next is we're going to open up these packs, and I'm going to sort them. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the cards. All right? All right, welcome back. We're gonna talk about the cards now. So the purpose of this deck, its purpose is pretty much to ramp up and to remove pesky creatures until you can get your bigger creatures out there and just stomp on your opponents, right? That's why it's called Gruul Stompy, right? Stompy, big creatures. Gruul, because Gruul is the name of the, what is it called? The clan? It's not the clan. The tribe. It's not the tribe. But it's the name of the red and green faction in Magic the Gathering. What's the word I'm looking for here? Is it chapter? Citadel? I forget. Shard? It's not a shard. I forget the name of it. But yeah, red and green in the world of Magic means Gruul, right? Alright, so that's why it's called Gruul Stompy. It's a red and green deck that just has big creatures that can just smash your opponent. Alright, so I kind of put them in various categories, and we're going to read through them. So first, we've got your Mana Ramp cards, right? So we got a Jespera Sentinel for green. It's a 1/2. It's got reach, and you can tap an untapped creature you control and add 1 mana of any color. I mean, green for a 1/2 is already pretty good, and for it to have reach as well, I mean, that's nice as a blocker. Right, so that ramps, and then we also got Magda, Brazen Outlaw. It's a 1 in a red legendary dwarf berserker 2/1 creature, and it says other dwarves you control get +1/+0. Whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped, create a treasure token. Interesting, right? Sacrifice 5 treasures, search your library for an artifact or dragon card, and put that card into the battlefield. Then shuffle your library, right? And it comes with 2 treasure tokens as well. On the back of these treasure tokens are wolf tokens, in case you're interested. But yeah, treasure tokens, you tap and sack this artifact, add 1 mana to any color. So, whenever a dwarf you control taps, you get a treasure token, right? So these are dwarves. I don't know how many other dwarves are in this deck. Let's quickly take a peek. I think that might be the only dwarf in this deck. But, I mean, at the same time, you know, you'll take it. I think, yeah, that might be the only dwarf in this deck. Yeah, so that's the only dwarf. So whenever Magda attacks, it creates a token. And then, unfortunately, that +1 ability doesn't really affect other dwarves because you don't have any other dwarves in play. But you can sack these 5 treasure tokens, or you could use them to ramp up, and you can find this guy, Goldspan Dragon. There's also an artifact creature that you can find, but I wouldn't really use it to find these guys unless I really, really needed to, right? The Twin Shot Sniper. I would sacrifice those 5 tokens, those treasure tokens, to get the Goldspan Dragon, because it's 4/4 flying haste, and whenever it attacks, you get a treasure token. And the cool thing about it is right down here, treasures you control have tap, sack this artifact at 2 mana of any one color instead of 1. So that helps you ramp up even more into your other bigger creatures, right? So that's the mana ramp. Next we have removal, right? So in the early mid game, you're just trying to ramp up. You're just trying to remove pesky creatures that are in your way, trying to disrupt your opponent's game plan. And you've got some removal spells here. You got a Braid, it's 1 in a red for instant. You can choose one, it does 3 damage to target creature or destroy target artifact. You get 4 of those. You also get Thundering Rebuke, it's a 1 in a red sorcery. Thundering Rebuke deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. It's a sorcery. And Light Up the Sky, it's an X in a red sorcery. Light Up the Sky deals X damage to any target if it deals X +1 damage instead if it targets a creature or planeswalker. Right. You can also flash it back for 3 in a red and remove X loyalty counters from among planeswalkers you control. If you cast a spell this way, X can't be 0. So you can flash it back, but unfortunately there's no planeswalkers in this deck, so you won't be able to use that ability. And you get Twin Shot Sniper. It's 2 in a red artifact creature Goblin Archer. It's a 2/3 with reach. When Twin Shot Sniper enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. Not too bad. It also has an ability called Channel for 1 in red. Discard Twin Shot Sniper from your hand. It deals 2 damage to any target. Not too bad as well. Some more removal here. I didn't know where to put Briar Bridge Tracker, so I kind of put it in the removal category. And And my reasoning is I couldn't really find a spot for it. But let me read the card and I'll explain. So it's a Briar Bridge Tracker. It's 2 and a green for a 2/3 human scout. It's got vigilance, and when it ETBs, it investigates, which is this token right here. It gives you a clue, and a clue is a 2, sack this artifact, draw a card, right? And as long as you control a token, Briar Bridge Tracker gets +2, +0. Now, in my opinion, you're not going to be finishing the game with Briar Bridge Tracker. Briar Bridge Tracker is a bridge to get you from the early mid to the mid-late game, where you're dropping your bigger creatures. And so that's why I kind of put it in the removal category. I mean, because it has the ability to have 4 power, and it's got vigilance. You know, it's got the ability to kind of just sit back and pick off creatures as it blocks. You know, and so that's kind of why I put it in the removal. I mean, it's not considered. It doesn't really fit into any of my other categories, so I kind of put it in the removal category here. So. Next are what I'm calling your combat tricks. Combat tricks are usually instant speed abilities. That's why they're called tricks. But I don't know. I'm calling it combat tricks, and I'm kind of categorizing all these cards as combat tricks because they're kind of improving your creature's ability to be effective during the combat phase. Right. So we get Snakeskin Veil. For a green instant, it's put +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Super powerful ability there. And then we got Ranger class. This is actually a pretty cool card. I like this card a lot. I think it's about a 225. This card's about 225 right now. So Ranger class, when it ETBs, so it's a 1 and a green. It's a enchantment class. I wanted to call it a saga, but it's not a saga. These are called classes, right? And so when it ETBs, you get a 2/2 wolf creature token. You can pay 1 and a green to go to level 2. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. Or you can pay 3 and a green. Once you hit level 2, you go to level 3. And it says you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Playing around with this deck, I don't really reach this level that often. Level 3, I'd rather drop a creature than pay 4 mana for that ability. And I would rather keep level 2's ability so that my creatures get more powerful as they attack. So that's why I kind of categorize this into my combat tricks category. And then we got Helena and Elena partners. So it's a 2 red-green for a 2/3 legendary human ranger. It's got first strike and reach, which are awesome. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is Helena and Elena's power. That creature gains haste until the end of turn. This is super awesome because you can throw this ability onto some of your stronger creatures that show up later in the game, and they instantly have haste, and they're stronger, right? And so, we're getting to the fun part of the deck. This is what I like to call your finishers. These are your stompy creatures here. So, of course, we've got Goldspan Dragon. This card is currently $22.49, and so it makes up the bulk of why people are buying Gruul Stompy, because they want some of these cards and they really want Goldspan Dragon. All right, so Goldspan Dragon. 3 red for a 4/4 dragon. It's got flying and haste, and when it when it attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. So remember, you can Snakeskin Veil it. You could, I don't know, if you wanted to, you could abrade it, do 3 damage to it, and whenever you do that, you get a treasure token. And also, this is the ability that I really like, is that treasures you control have tap, sack this artifact, and you produce 2 mana of any color instead of 1. That's the main reason why you want Goldspan Dragon out. You want to keep it alive so your treasure tokens can just help you ramp up even further into these behemoths right here. We've got 2 of them right here. Let's go with Ulvenwad Oddity. All right, it's 2 green for a 4/4 beast. It's got trample and haste, and then you can transform it. Right, so it's already 4 mana for a 4/4 trample haste creature. That's pretty great. And then when it transforms for 5 green, it becomes Ulvenwald Behemoth. It's an 8/8 beast horror with trample and haste, and other creatures you control get +1/+1 and have trample and haste. That is pretty crazy in my opinion. That's a great ability. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to open up my iPad for my notes. All right, so powerful card, amazing card. If you can get it to transform, right? Even if you can't, a 4/4 trample haste for 4 mana, I'll take that any day, right? And then we also got right here Tovolar's Huntmaster. It's a 4 green for a 6/6 human werewolf, and when it ETBs, you create 2/2 green wolf creature tokens, right? So it's almost like what's that card? It was a Titan, like Graveborn Titan? I forget the name of it. I haven't played Magic in a super long time. I played Magic Arena, but I haven't played Paper Magic in a long time. And there was this Titan, and I think it was like a 6/6 Titan, and it gave you 2/2 zombies. So kind of like the same thing, but this is a 6/6 Titan that gives you 2/2 green wolf creature tokens, right? And it's got Daybound, and it can also transform into Tovolar's Pack Leader, which is a 7/7 werewolf. And when Tovolar's Pack Leader ETBs or attacks, that's crazy, you create 2 more 2/2 green wolf tokens, right? And for 2 and a green, another target wolf or werewolf you control fights target creature you don't control. That's pretty awesome. That's like awesome removal. So this deck, what it's trying to do is trying to mono ramp with these cards. Remove pesky creatures that are in your way. You're trying to disrupt your opponent a little bit in the early to mid game. So then in the later game, you've got these huge giant creatures, and you've got tons of little battle tricks as well, or as we like to call them in Magic, combat tricks, right? So let's check out the lands and the sideboard here. We got a man land here, Lair of the Hydra. If you control 2 or more other lands, Lair of the Hydra ETB is tapped. And you can tap it for a green, and you can pay X in a green until end of turn. This card becomes an XX green Hydra creature. It's still a land, and X can't be 0. So, if you get Raft or you get your board wiped, you still have your Lair of Hydra here to help you out. You got a dual land here, Rockfall Vale. Rockfall Vale ETBs the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more lands, and you can tap it for red or green. And then you got, let me see here, you got 8 mountains and 10 forests here, and at least you get some cool looking forests here. Where are these from? I forget where these are from. But yeah, they're cool looking. All right, so let's look at the sideboard here. All right, so we got Tovolar Dire Overlord. So let me get a drink of water here. We got Tovolar Dire Overlord. It's a 1 red-green for a 3/3 legendary human werewolf. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves or werewolves, excuse me, it becomes night. Then transform any number of human werewolves you control. And the Tovolar turns into Tovolar the Midnight Scourge. It is a 4/4 legendary werewolf. And whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And you can also pay X red-green. Target werewolf or werewolf you control gets +X+0 and gains trample in the end of the turn. Alright, not too bad. I'm not too sure what deck you would... Sorry about that, I just had to clear my throat. I was about to cough, but I couldn't cough. And it was itching my throat, and I was like, just cough, but it wouldn't cough. And so I just had to clear my throat and get some water. So let's go back to Tovolar here. So Tovolar, I don't know why this card's in the sideboard. I'm like, shouldn't we just main deck this card? It doesn't, I feel like, I don't know in what situations I would use this card unless my opponent's not playing a bunch of creatures or targets for me to remove cards with my cards. If they're not playing a lot of creatures, then I'll remove all my direct damage spells, right? And so that's the only time I can think of that where I would want to put this card in, right? We got more removal here. Thundering Rebuke. We have 3 more. We got 2 twin shot snipers. Burning Hands, it's 1 in a red. Instant spell. This card deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that permanent is green, this card does 6 damage instead. So this is great removal if you need more removal, and especially great against green decks. We got Kopatech Wrecker. It's 1 in a green for a 1/3 Turtle Ninja. Not Ninja Turtle, but Turtle Ninja. It's got Ninjutsu, which means you could sneak it in. Kopatech Wrecker ETBs with a Death Touch counter on. And whenever this card deals combat damage to a player, you remove a Death Touch counter from it. And when you do, exile target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So it's a great artifact and enchantment removal card. And then 3 more cards here. We got Frog Hemoth. It's a 3 in a green for a 4/4 Frog Horror. It's got Trample and Haste, and whenever this card deals damage, or whenever this creature deals combat damage, your player exile up to that many cards from their graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Frog Hemoth. For each creature card exiled this way, you gain 1 life for each non-creature card exiled this way. So if you need to gain life, maybe you're playing against mono red, or you're playing against a deck that throws a lot of creatures into the graveyard. Alright, this card might be a good card to substitute in. And we got Lantern of the Lost. It's 1 mana for an artifact. When this card ETBs, exile target card from a graveyard. And then you can pay 1, tap, exile Lantern of the Lost, and exile all cards from all graveyards, then draw a card. So this is just great graveyard hate here. And we got a Day and Night token, some advertisement, and some blank token cards here. So, alright. So yeah, there it is. Gruul Stompy. You're just trying to ramp up. You're trying to disrupt your opponent's game plan. You're trying to remove their creatures until you can drop your big fatties here, right? Your stompy creatures, right? And so, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the deck. It's a fun deck, great deck for beginners. For $30, you're getting, like I said, what did I say? Like over 50. Here, let me look at my notes here. You're getting about $65 worth of cards for $30, so it's got great value to it. And yeah, it's a fun deck, and it's really easy to upgrade. You can pretty much put any of your favorite green or red creatures in there, and then it would be an instant upgrade, right? You can also get more Goldspan dragons. Why not, right? All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you can, please like, comment, subscribe, share, click the notification bell, blah, blah, blah. You know what to do. I would greatly appreciate if you did any one of those. So if you could, also remember, if you subscribe, if you're a public subscriber, you will automatically be entered in to win one of these 2 prizes once I hit that 175 or 200 subscriber benchmark. So all of you out there, thank you for watching my video. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you all in the next video.